Ooh, I found a new way of doing things that I really like. Today, pastels of choice are my Pentels, but as I always say, experiment with what you have. I decided to do a few portraits. Now, the original intention was to use the skin tones that come along with this set of 16. I'm doing a profile portrait first, and somehow I'm not gravitating towards the skin tone colors at all. Well, maybe in another video. And as I'm going along, I'm enjoying even just the textures that I'm getting right now. Who'd have thought it? Let's go. I'll be using mainly my red Pentel and my purple wax crayon for this one. A little while back, I did a survey as to what my viewers wanted to see, and portraits came out very high on the list. In fact, I think it just edged out botanics and landscapes. So today we are doing a few more portraits, and I'll be doing more in the future. Pentel is definitely not a creamy pastel, but I like the texture of it, and it's something that I feel I can really work with. It's hard enough that I can create nice lines and textures, and with this pastel there's a lot less residue, so it's a lot less messy. Once I've got the colours down for my flower, I can use the crayon to get all my details. Sometimes your greatest inspiration comes to you when you're most relaxed. It's almost as if your intuition is guiding you, drawing you through, pardon the pun. In this drawing, I find myself alternating between the red Pentel, the purple wax crayon and the red, and for the flower, alternating between the blues of both materials. There we have it. I think it's simple and effective. On to the next one. I want this next drawing, the blue one, to slightly overlap the page a little. So I'm using my elastic band to keep the pages flat. Okay, a little cream for the driest hands in the West. What can I say? Honey and oatmeal, it smells amazing. This time I'm starting with the purple wax crayon instead of the Pentel pastel. It's funny, because this Pentel set doesn't include a purple, I keep reaching for the crayon as a substitute. And honestly, that simple limitation is what sparked this whole journey. Trying to fill the purple gap has pushed me to experiment in ways that I'm really enjoying. What's also been working for me is starting with the darks, kind of like a monochrome base, and then layering color over it. Purple is my secret weapon, perfect for toning down reds and creating shadow. So next time, Pentel, include purple in your box. It would be much appreciated. Purple shadow's done. Now I'm using my light blue pastel to create some midtones. Okay, time to peel off some paper. The Pentels are quite small and narrow compared to some other pastels, so you might end up going through them a lot quicker. Every art material behaves differently, especially oil pastels. Each brand has its own personality. The colours in this set are actually quite good, and when I started pairing them with simple Crayola wax crayons, something unexpected happened. The crayons gave me the purple this set was missing, and together they created a texture and line quality that I really love. When I first tried these Pentel pastels, I honestly struggled. They weren't as soft as what I was used to. The blending felt different, and the texture pushed back a bit. But instead of giving up, I leaned into the challenge, and I'm so glad I did. So if you're trying a new material that feels awkward at first, keep going, experiment, adapt. Let the material show you what it can do. Sometimes the best techniques come from limitations. And honestly, this little oil pastel and crayon combo feels like a creative breakthrough. The third drawing is a full frontal portrait in warm orange and yellow tones. I'm using a slightly different strategy with this drawing. starting with a light color rather than a dark one. Now let's grab the orange wax crayon and add some details to the face. The almost pencil-like quality of the wax crayons make them great for adding fine details. Limiting your color palette forces you to make every stroke count. Small touches of detail and strong contrast can speak louder than overworked perfection. Using my sketchbook and without the pressure of this needing to be a detailed finished piece, I think I've found a process and a technique that I really enjoy. So grab those pastels and wax crayons and give it a try. Let me know how you get on. As with the other two drawings, I'm laying layers of colors one on top of the other and building up the intensity. In this piece, I found a sense of freedom. It reminded me that art doesn't always have to come from grand plans or expensive materials. It comes from curiosity, from experimentation, from giving yourself permission to play. When I step back and look at these three portraits, I realize they represent more than just a study in color. They're about trust in the process, the materials, and yourself. Sometimes what you're searching for will find you, but only if you keep showing up. The tools, the materials, the style, they all come together when you show up. These drawings might not be perfect, just studies in a sketchbook, but I really love them. I know this is a style that I'll be pursuing more. Now going to the opposite end of the color spectrum, we're going to add a touch of blue and a touch of yellow to create some flowers in our subject's hair. I'm using blue to darken the eyes, eyebrows, and the lips. The blue also comes in handy to add a little contrasting colors to the shoulders. A few orange and yellow highlight does the trick, and I think we're done. It's in moments like these that art becomes effortless. Sometimes in the simple act of doing, things begin to reveal themselves. You stumble upon a style, a technique, because you simply showed up. You faced the page and you did the work. These portraits really felt effortless. Challenge yourself. Try the unfamiliar. Maybe challenging materials. Work with what you have. I'm happy that I just jumped in and went with the flow of my material. You know what? That's how magic happens. Now I'll say this, if you want that thing to find you, whether it's your artistic voice, your confidence, or your next idea, you have to put yourself in front of it. Face it, relax, focus, and sometimes do the hard thing. Remember, experiment a little, play a little. You're going to discover so much. I hope you enjoyed this video. I wish you many hours of play, creativity, and discovery. Wishing you so much love. Peace.